have Conchola here for this session. So,
What's up?
Tune in. This is the boy Conchola right here. So how you been, bro?
It's been good, man. It's good seeing you guys. Even though it's been, I saw Martin there last week. I haven't seen you 2 weeks ago, but it's always good seeing you guys.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Oh, hey, tell him how we needed him last Sunday.
Oh yeah, I wasn't there. So what happened at the practice?
We needed you to hold the camera, bro.
The camera?
We needed you to hold the camera so you could record our videos.
And we bought a camcorder too, so we'll probably use that.
And we needed to say, "Damn, Gabe, where are you?"
Shit.
Yeah, but we missed you and Brian too. You guys definitely. I could tell I could tell, like, you know, from us playing, it's like we definitely need more help. So definitely Brian is much needed, and then you're also probably gonna be needed.
Yeah.
And not only that was our best practice too. I feel like that was our best practice too.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I mean, like I said, it's like the more we practice it, the more determined and I feel more encouraged to practice at home, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then we're learning music like we hadn't before, right, Martin?
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
It's
sure,
like,
sure.
yeah. And it's like, well, you remember when we first had to practice, right?
Yeah.
Like
Javi's garage?
No. That's high
Oh,
school.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
That was terrible. No, but I'm saying, remember when you came saw us? It was just Martin, I, and Terrence.
Yeah.
It's like you could definitely tell we needed the bass, the drummer, and
little
we
did you
were just trying to figure out. And little did we know, you know, on the other side here, Gabe knew two people that could have helped us and probably would have been superstars right now, rock stars. But unfortunately, you know,
you were holding back on us, man.
Well, I didn't know they would be down.
we're a year and a
didn't
half
expect
behind, thanks to Gabe here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gabe.
Because I remember I posted my homie up that he made a drum cover, and you're like, yo, bro, you should ask him if he would be down. And I did. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, shit. I thought he would say, like, oh, he'll think about it.
Oh, you could have said, hey, it's his, man. It's like, I have some guys here that, you know, are trying to start. Maybe you guys should talk. But nope. Didn't click, Gabe.
It didn't at the moment. But hey, everything did end up working out.
Yeah.
I mean, big
definitely
up
did.
difference, right?
huge
Yeah,
difference.
right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so our goal is off. Definitely, hopefully by September, October, we start, you know,
Playing and shit.
at the bars, and
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
And the thing is, like, these guys pick up the music quick. It's like
Yeah. No, yeah, these guys.
they're just have it in their ear, like pick it up and stuff like that. You
Yeah.
know?
Thank
Yeah.
you, Mike, and thank you, Hazel. You guys are awesome.
For real.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and I've known them since I was a kid, so I remember both of them started learning music at like middle school, and I just never
Wow.
picked up an instrument.
No, like I said, they pick up music like quick. It's like, and hands down, it's like probably, like it makes it easier for us because it's like they learn it, and it's like it pushes us to make sure that we get on top of things.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it helps us. It really helps us. And for me, it's like I actually go home now and actually practice instead of when it was just Terrence and Martin. It was just like, I'll practice in the morning.
Like an hour before getting there.
And then, or we wouldn't practice, and then we can show up, and then now we're actually practicing.
Alright, yeah.
But now it's like I go home and I'm like, okay, I gotta memorize these lyrics for this country song, or I gotta memorize the lyrics for this country song, or country rock, and it's like, and even look at the tabs and the chords and all that stuff, and even then it's like I gotta practice my timing. So like I said, it's I gotta thank them, and like they definitely helped create that band.
So what made you want to make a band, though? Like, what
Well,
motivated you to make a band?
I think when I first took my trip to Nashville, Tennessee,
Oh, I
which I
remember.
highly recommend you guys
Yeah, I wanna
taking,
go.
and you guys should really go out over there next time I go. I mean, I'm going in June, but it's I'm going with like some of the boys from like from my I'm blanking out, from my groomsmen.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
that's what's up.
So I'm going out there in June. But definitely, like, I'm planning on taking another trip. But you guys should
Yeah,
I highly encourage you guys to go. But
they have whiskey. So
yeah, so I mean,
I love
they
whiskey.
have everything. But I went to Nashville, Tennessee, 4 years ago. The first time I went there, it was like, yes, it's a southern state. Yes, people say that, you know, have all this negative stigma about southern states, but I think that's what made me want to try out, because if you're in Nashville, Tennessee. They call it Music City, or also known as #1 bachelorette city in the world, or in the U.S. It actually beats Vegas. You guys could look it up.
Oh damn.
But when I went over there, it's like Johnny Cash, who's one of like
Oh yeah.
everyone knows
Fucking-
Johnny Cash.
yeah.
It's like
He's a legend.
Yeah, the guy's a legend. A lot of people who were famous or who became famous, they came from Nashville, Tennessee, because it's called Music City. So I decided to take a trip out there with one of my boys, Junior. You guys have met him. And then one of his coworkers. We went over there and we're like, let's check it out. Let's see, 3 Latinos out in Nashville. And we're like, we'll see, right? We'll see. Let's see what experience we had. But you know what? We went over there and we felt that Southern charm. What they call it, a Southern charm. Everyone's super sweet, super nice. It feels like, doesn't even feel like everyone's in a rush or anything. It just feels like normal. Like it feels like a small community. But as I was eating out there and listening to music, by the way, everything out there is live music. So you go from a pop band to a country band to a rock band, and I was out there for 4 days, and I just kept listening to like music out there, and I was just like, I came back and I remember I hit up Martin, and I was like, dude, I just got back from Nashville, and I love that city.
Oh, dude, I forgot what I was doing, but just hella random. Like, hey, you want to start a band? And I was like, oh, fuck it, right?
Yeah. So I told Martin, I was like, dude, like I want to start a band. Let's. And so that I've always had a passion for music. I mean, as you know, we attempted to have a band in high school, but it was a failure. I remember first cover, it was terrible. Yeah. But I mean, I've always had a passion for music. It was just a matter of like, when was the timing? And I remember after I left to college, it's like we couldn't meet up because I'd come back home once a month and see you guys. We'd always hang out, or if you guys would come to my college parties, you guys were always having a good time out there.
So just having a band, this was even before like going to Nashville, then, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember we had the whole group thing.
I've always wanted to do it back in high school, but the thing is, it wasn't time yet. So I guess when I went to Nashville, I saw how passionate people are about music. I saw how like the amazing food they had, but I think mainly was the vibe that I got out there from the bars. It was just like live music, everyone's friendly, and you could play from, like I said, going from pop, going to hip hop, they'd be playing it live music, and I was just like, wow. And jazz.
And you would assume that, I would assume that it was just country.
Yeah, you would assume it's just country, but no, every bar has its own like their own little genre. And so I got back and I was like, I was really motivated, and so I hit up Martin. I'm like, hey, let's start a band, because I knew Martin played the guitar, and so he's like, he was down, and so then I was trying to see if we could figure out who to get as people, and then
because there was 2 sessions, right, that we just did like by ourselves.
Yeah, just you two, and I had no idea how to play the guitar.
And this guy didn't know how to. If you look at him now, because in our videos, he knows how to play. Like, he knows his chords now. But back then he didn't know nothing. Like, he knows like
nothing. I was holding on to all the chords and just strum. Just
make the, when you hold it like
and pretending like I knew how to play. But now it's like and quarantine happened, and the first thing I did, I was like, you know what? Let me pick up the guitar. I actually want to learn chords, and from there I just started getting better and better. And like I said, in a way, it's like it kind of helped me like bring my passion back, and ever since then it's like little by little we memorized some songs, but it wasn't until we got Hazel and Mike where we really got things down, and now I'm like really excited because it feels like we're almost there, where we could definitely perform live, and I even remember when we had our first performance back in 2018.
Oh yeah,
my holiday party.
That was crazy.
That was even though we only played 6-7 songs, I can't remember 6 songs. And it felt nice. It felt awesome. It felt really good, and people even cheered us, and that was the crazy part, because we had we didn't have much practice, but
we went into like it's like
let's try it out and see. But
it came out cool.
Came out decent, but definitely now it's like I'm really like, let's get this down, and by September, October, hopefully like we start playing at gigs, and like I said, for me it's more of a passion because I I love live music. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Like, I
Yeah.
always go to like concerts.
Yeah.
I go to concerts.
You went to that thing that it looks like Coachella, but it's not Coachella. It's
Yeah,
like something for country music,
Yeah,
right?
country music. Stagecoach.
Stagecoach.
Yeah, so I went to Stagecoach out there. I go to just about like any live music. I mean, I'm still I wanted to go to the Bad Bunny, but unfortunately,
Sheesh.
I mean, I'm not gonna pay that much money.
Jeez, bro.
I mean, I'm not gonna put on my credit card.
Yeah, like, dude, that's $1,000. And then we have a friend that bought like the very, very
Bottom?
seats all the way on top
Oh.
for like $100, and now they're going on resale for like 500 each.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. No,
It's
it's,
like,
that's
holy
what I
shit.
said. It's like, I'm not gonna pay that much money, unless I'm gonna meet him.
yeah, yeah.
If I'll pay $1,500. I get to take a picture with Bad Bunny and have a little private 10-minute concert. I'll pay that much.
Yeah, yeah.
I for sure
Yeah.
will. But I mean, $1,500 to still be in the 100 section, and I'm sorry, but
And those apparently that's how much tickets are worth to go see Drake.
yeah.
I never seen Drake.
I've seen Drake.
Really?
It's actually but when he was still his first album. I
Oh,
can't remember.
okay.
Yeah, but even then, it's like I mean, I guess you could say it's ever since I was in college. I've always gone to concerts, whether it's like Drake. I saw J. Cole. I've seen Chris Brown. I've seen
shit.
hip hop artists and I've seen like every artist, and then but I definitely enjoy live music. And
Do you still remember your first country song that you heard? Like, how did you get into country?
you know, it's funny.
And it's crazy to me too,
So-
because you got my friend, the Ozzy,
yeah.
that I wouldn't, and
Yeah.
he's over there like, I saw that he was recommending a country song, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, no, it's Chris
Like-
Stapleton. I mean, if you guys know Chris Stapleton,
Tennessee Whiskey?
that's his main song. But
Jeez.
yeah, it was like he shocked me because that's one of his new album,
Mhm.
one of his new songs in his album, and I was just like, oh wow. I remember he said he didn't like country.
Yeah, and now he's over there
But
listening to it.
you know what's funny is high school. I don't know if you guys ever, heard Rascal Flatts, the song "What Hurts the Most."
Mm-hmm.
Being so close. Nope. Well, anyways, I remember in high school, people would, I don't know who would listen to that song, and I heard it the first time, and I was like, oh, that's a good song. And I thought it was pop, or like, I thought it was rock.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember you could hear a banjo playing in there. In that song, and it was like basically like a heartbreak song, and I was like, that's a good song though. I was like, oh, this is really good. But I had no idea it was country up until like maybe my junior or senior year of college that I realized I'm like, oh crap, Rascal Flatts are country
shit.
music.
Oh shit.
But I guess that was my first song I could remember that I first listened to. But I really got into country music my senior year of college, or my 5th year of college, because I did 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was that year, or it was like once I graduated. But that's where it kind of grew into me. You know, I went from like Luke Bryan, who's like kind of more like soft pop country,
Mhm.
and then I kind of just started getting better. But I mean, as you guys hear the songs, a lot of them has to do with like heartbreaks and
Yeah.
so,
Whiskey.
yeah.
Like, shit.
Whiskey. I mean, a lot of them has to do like, someone falls in love. Like if you
Yeah.
think about it, it's almost like a corrido.
Yeah.
It literally tells like a little story in
Yeah.
a 3-minute, 4-minute song,
Yeah.
and I think that's why I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it tells you a little story, a love story, a heartbreak story, and so it kind of. Like, I remember my favorite song till this day is Hurricane by Luke Combs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I remember when I first heard that song, I'd picture if you watch that video,
Mm-hmm.
you feel, and if you're having a heartbreak, watch that video. I'm telling you, you're gonna picture yourself in that video thinking, this is me,
Waterfalls.
this is me, and it's funny because, I mean, if you think about it, when you break up with a girl, all right,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say the girl breaks up with you, or
Yeah.
let's say vice versa. Either way,
Yeah.
a guy breaks up with the girl, or the girl breaks up with the guy, right?
Mhm.
And let's say the person who broke things up, they're trying to get you back, right? Or they come back to your life, right? And you're still heartbroken. What does that person do? You want to get back, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to get back. So that Hurricane song, it's like I said, I related to it because I remember like when I was heartbroken, or I was dealing with a breakup, and then the person would show up it's like I wanted to be with that person. But then the next day, they'd be, hey, we're just friends. We're just letting you know. So for it would kind of hurt you because you'd have you think about it. You're like, oh, I think we're gonna get back together, and then never mind, I'm not.
Yeah.
We're just friends.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like Hurricane. That was until this day still my favorite song because it's like I said, it's like the person kind of playing with him, and at some point it's you have to figure out, hey, when do you put an end to this?
Yeah.
Or you, which is the biggest scare you have is, or the big thing you really get scared of is, I should put an end to this.
Yeah.
And because it's not healthy for me, so that's why I like that song Hurricane.
To those tóxicos and tóxicas out there.
Right. And we all were part of that. We were all in some way involved in that. Yeah.
Sheesh.
But
that's wild. But you also told me you would be writing songs, huh?
Yeah. What's funny? I also in high school I would write songs. I had like a little diary. I had no idea where it's at.
Sheesh.
I think it was thrown, but I would write lyrics.
Oh damn!
And it was when we were all into that punk rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grab I'd go and listen to the song without the lyrics and then write my own lyrics. But
Sheesh.
at some point when I moved from high school to college, it just disappeared or I threw it out or something. But my dad threw it out because obviously he's clearing out space.
Yeah.
But I still like writing though.
That's what's up.
I definitely like our goal, at least for the band, is for us to definitely have a song or two of our own. And I'm not opposed to anything. We could do rock, we could do country. It doesn't matter. But I definitely want to write a country song since right now it's I guess reggaeton and country is like my passion.
Yeah. Reggaeton, damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's what's up. And then, dude. I remember the times you would invite us to go to the college parties, bro. Oh. Obviously me and Martin didn't go to college, but you gave us that experience, that feeling of the college party of how crazy.
Yeah.
Like Santa Barbara, that's just gonna stay, that weekend, bro, it's always gonna stay with me.
Oh, that's right. We went to Santa Barbara and
that shit was lit.
Yeah.
That shit was crazy.
That was a crazy house party and Martin would always come to my house parties.
Yeah.
Martin would always.
The whiskey that first time, Jesus Christ!
Oh my god!
And I still remember this girl that opened one of my cooler to fill up her cup, and then I remember it just flooded the entire rug and the floor with the red. Remember when I would make that what do I call it? The Jolly Rancher drink.
Oh yeah.
You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jolly Rancher. She dropped half of it on the floor, and that was one of my hugest parties. But I remember like. My roommates were like, dude, this girl just dropped. At the time I was living with like girl roommates, and they were like, dude, like this girl just dropped half of the Jolly Rancher drink, and I'm like, oh. And the next day was brutal cleaning, but we had a good time.
It didn't do that. Like you were also, like I don't get that when they called you the founding father of what La Raza.
Oh, Gamma Zeta Alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, I established a fraternity back in 2012. So
that's fucking crazy.
After that, and we'd have our house parties.
How the fuck did you establish? You just found them out, and you're like, yo, I wanna.
I think so. I don't know. I'm sure but a lot of, when you're going to college, a first generation college student, it's like you have, you walk into like a new world. Right.
Yeah.
Like obviously all of us come from like low income communities, Richmond.
Yeah.
So for me, going into like college, I looked around and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of smart people. Like I thought I was smart in high school.
Yeah.
And I had like a 4.0, right? Like 4.0, 3.9, I can't remember, but it's like I went to college and I felt like, damn, I'm an average student here. Yeah. So. I remember when I was going to classes, I just didn't feel like my community. I didn't feel like a community. So for me, it's like obviously you make your new friendships. You get to learn more about yourself, and I remember at some point it's like I was trying out for I was looking at fraternities, and then I was always wondering like why isn't there a Latino based fraternity, or why isn't there a multicultural fraternity on campus? And so I remember I met some of the fraternity brothers from UCLA, and then they, you know what's funny is they never kind of, they didn't sell it to me. They were more like, hey, you know, come join us, you know, hang out with us, and one of them was my roommate, and I had some roommates that were part of that fraternity, and I was not affiliated to them at all. They literally treated me like I was like a younger brother. And so then I came back to UC Merced after my summer at UCLA, and I was like, damn, I really want to start this fraternity. Just like the band. You know, once I have an idea, and I go for it until I fell. And so once I fell, I'm like, okay, how could I do this? But yeah, I started, and it took I think it took like a year and a half to establish it. But
oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's what I remember. You once you established it, you're like, yeah, bro. If I'm stuck somewhere, if I'm in Sacramento, I know I have a place to stay.
Yeah, I have
like if you go, and I was just like, sheesh.
Yeah.
And because you told me that you drove that time we were driving to Santa Barbara, you told me a story how one time you drove from like one place to another in like 2 days.
Yeah.
I don't know, on a weekend, and I'm just like,
that was spring break.
yo, sheesh. I was like,
spring break in college was rowdy. I went from where did I go? I know I started in I went from Merced to San Diego, and then from San Diego to Rosarito, and then I was in
your Mustang too, and your nice ass Mustang.
Yeah, no, I actually took my dad's Prius because I was scared that I was gonna get carjacked in Mexico.
Yeah.
But I went to Rosarito, and then I came back to San Diego, and then from San Diego I think I went all the way to I can't remember, somewhere in the Bay, and then finally went back to Merced. But that was a crazy weekend.
You told me that, I was like,
but
damn.
I always which is kind of nice as being in the fraternity. It's like you always had a place to stay. It's like all you have to do is be respectful and just make sure you don't obviously break any things.
Yeah, man, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how, I mean, I'm glad everything worked out too with the whole band of Mikey and Ozzy joining.
Yeah, thank you guys again.
Like, and it does sound huge, bro. And you guys added new songs too, right? To practice and shit.
Yeah, we have 13 songs on the list, right, Martin?
Yes. What's the goal again? 20 songs?
Well, I would like to have 15 country songs but we definitely have like some rock songs in there to kind of mix in. But definitely I want to have at least 15 songs before we could go and start playing at a country bar. But I mean it's moving it smoothly. We're probably learning like 1 to 3. I mean, what, 2 to 3 songs a month?
Yeah.
So I mean, we have 7 country songs right now, 7 or 8.
Hey, when did you realize that you were like, okay, I got the guitar down in a way? Like when was like that day where you're like, oh shit, I'm actually playing this?
I want to say May of last year. May, because I remember. I mean, I always, I don't know why.
Last year we didn't get together for like.
Because quarantine in May, and we didn't get together till like maybe September, October.
Right.
We started getting together again, but I remember in February I picked up the guitar right before the like I'm hearing the news about like everything's shutting down, and so kind of I was like, oh, you know what, I should probably start picking up a passion that I want to do or something I really want to do. So I picked up the guitar, and dude, from day one I sucked. I tried singing and playing. That was terrible.
Yeah, stuff.
That was terrible.
And that was still on Terrence's guitar, right? The one he let you play?
Yeah. All I knew was Stacy's mom. and all I knew Stacy's mom, and then Luke Bryan's song. But even then, it's like I can't remember. I would try and play it, and then I forget.
Oh, yeah.
Or I mean, even then, I didn't know how to play the chords, so I'd just be strumming. Yeah, but now it's like kind of. As like I said, as long as you gotta get, for me, at least for me, I gotta learn the beat first of the kind of the rhythm. And once I learn the rhythm, then I could apply the lyrics. But it's it's not. I guess you could say it's not hard for me now. But I definitely, when I first started, I was just like, damn, I suck. Sure. But again, everyone sucks.
Yeah.
When you start, you start somewhere. But.
And how was quarantine? Because I know obviously you're a cop. Did the quarantine affect you like during? that time?
We were still
Or
working.
did you have to like? Oh,
We were still working. I think I was more of since everything was new to us. We were kind of just. We're like, oh man, I hope we don't deal with anyone that has COVID and even then it's like the media was like talking about it, like and everyone's saying like, oh, this many people have died today, this many people have died today, and you're scared. You're truly scared. You're like wondering, you're like, damn, if I catch COVID, am I gonna die?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, and that's how it was the first couple. I'd say the first 3 months for everyone. No one was out on the street.
Yeah, dude.
No one was out on the street. I remember that first week that everything shut down.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in my patrol car, and then I'm like, damn, looking around. I'm like
Ghost Town.
Like it looks like a movie, huh? Like,
literally like Resident Evil.
Shit.
Like that's how like no one's around. It's like people out of so many masks. When people would go out, and even then, you remember all the like superstore or like the markets, or any of like Costco, and everyone was like waiting in line. Because they're trying to get water, toilet paper, man. Like
right, it's gold.
Out of everything, toilet paper is the number one thing that everyone was getting. I never understood that.
Yeah.
But and it was just like, but me, I guess you could say, I was never really sheltered.
Mm-hmm.
I was never shelter in place because you always need first responders.
Yeah.
Whether it's a medic, a firefighter, police. They were always needed, no matter what. You're always the first one to respond. So it's like you can't be like, oh, never mind. I'm not gonna do this because, I'm scared of COVID. No, but we were still out there, and in my head, and I remember the first couple months, I'm like, damn, I really hope I don't catch it, because I'm afraid I'm gonna die. But I mean, luckily, it's like nothing happened to me. Luckily, none of my immediate family happened. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
And my friends obviously too.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I'm like, damn, I hope none of my close friends, but I mean, I ended up getting it, but I was never, I guess you could say, confirmed. I never took a test to confirm that I had it, but I lost my maybe around early May, mid-May, I can't remember. I lost my taste and smell. Damn. So that was weird. I lost it for like almost 3 weeks. But it was weird because, what I felt that I took like a couple days off. I took like 2 weeks off, but I took them off, or 10 days. I took them off because that was supposed to be my bachelor party weekend.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I kind of made it where like I could have a lot of days off. Mm-hmm. And so I remember that weekend I ended up not going, obviously, because everything was closed. So I was working. And then I remember when I was home, I remember I was like, my significant other was doing some cookies, and I just remember I was like playing video games. I was playing video games or watching TV, and then she's like, "Oh, the cookies are done," and I'm like, "Oh, cool." I'm like, "I can't smell it." And she's like, "Really?" She's like, "I can smell it." And so I go into the kitchen, and I remember I grab the cookie, and I'm like, did you add any like sugar? Or did you add anything in it? I was like, I can't taste nothing. And she's like, babe, I could taste the chocolate. I'm like, well, this chocolate probably this cookie doesn't have like sugar on it, from the batter or from the chocolate. So I remember I ate another one. I'm like, I still can't taste anything. That was weird. And so then I remember 3 days later, I'm just like, I still can't taste anything. But that's all I had, the symptoms. And then I remember I was just like, well, if I have COVID, let's see if I get worse, right? Because I don't know if I might have a fever or I know I have like seasonal asthma. Oh shit! So when it's a lot of pollen, and I don't take, let's say I don't take any medicine, for allergies, I know I start wheezing during like asthma because like I said, it just feels like I have shortness of breath. So for me, I thought, I was like, damn, if I catch COVID, or when I thought I had COVID, I was like, I might get worse. So, but let's wait it out. And if I get worse, I'll get tested. But funny thing is, I didn't get any symptoms, and I kind of just like, oh, okay, whatever. I just took the test, and then I remember, like towards the end of the second week or at the beginning of the third week, it's like I kind of started tasting things again. I'm like, oh wow. Even then, when I put Vicks right in front of my nose, nothing.
Yeah, cause I had it too, bro, but for me, it gave me the worst fever.
Yeah.
The worst fucking fever I've ever had, and that was probably the worst part. And then my body ached like if I got jumped, and
Wow.
like I don't know why, dude. And then like I had to roll out of bed, and I was just like, my
So
body feels like I'm getting beat
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And then I had to call work like, yo, I think I have it, and they're like, oh, well then just stay home, get tested.
Yeah, I remember.
And-
I remember. I text you and I text. I think Chris, Sergio's brother.
Oh, yeah.
I text
'Cause
him
he had
because
it.
they had it early, and I
Yeah.
remember, and I text you guys saying, "I hope you guys are okay. If you
Yeah.
guys need anything, let me know." But
Yeah.
at the time, it was like the beginning of COVID,
Yeah,
so I was just like, "Oh damn! I hope I don't lose like a good friend of mine."
for real. So then, as a cop, dude, do you think what do you think is gonna happen once everything opens up?
Well,
And gonna get wild again?
peop-
Because I mean, did the crime thing go down since everybody was in quarantine, or was it still the same
I
hella
mean,
active?
I mean, I definitely would say that when everything closed down immediately, I know things were much slower
Mm-hmm.
because people were not on the street, right? So if people are not
Yeah.
on the street, they're not. There's not a lot of interaction, right?
Mhm.
Everyone's at home, but I know like once people were home, you get your domestic violence calls more often. You still have like your car accidents.
Oh, okay.
There would be car accidents. You still get like every now and then like burglaries. Burglaries I know grew a lot. Like burglaries
shit.
were a major thing, at least in San Francisco.
Yeah, it's rising again. I was with Gil and Concord, and there was a dude looking in the van,
But yeah,
and then when he saw me and Gil come, he fucking just he got into a car and dipped.
Yeah,
And-
those are called auto burglaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they usually look for people who leave their belongings
Mhm.
out
That,
in the car.
that pissed
yeah.
me off. I was like, I should have just
Yeah.
said something to that dude.
But
And they're kids. You would assume they're adults doing these, but not. Most of the time, I see that they're like kids.
yeah,
Some
young
kids.
kids
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah. But yeah, that's an auto. Usually, what they call it, the term is auto burglary. So they look into people's vehicles, and the easy targets are rentals.
Oh shit!
Because when someone has
a rental.
a rental,
Yeah.
it has a different license plate
Yeah,
aside
yeah.
from California, so they know they're either visiting or they're not from the area, so they're not familiar with
Yeah.
what goes around.
Yeah.
So those are the first vehicles they target, and they look in. Oh, they see a luggage, easy brake or backpack, pull it out. There's already a car waiting for them, and they take off.
Jeez.
And then what's funny is that the people who commit those crimes, they actually rent cars.
Oh, what
yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck?
So they rent the cars. They don't use their personals. They rent cars.
So that way, if they get a license plate or something, it
Yeah.
doesn't go back to them.
Or they steal another car. So they steal another car
Mm-hmm.
so that if the police sees the car and they run the plate, it comes out of somewhere else, which delays the whole investigation. Versus if they use their personal cars,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, this person's address comes to this location. Oh, you committed the crime. Boom, they're
Yeah,
arrested,
yeah.
right? But, so, it's like I said. Usually, those people who are committing those type of crimes, the auto burglaries, they're smart. They're really smart because they've done it multiple times
Yeah.
and they know how to work it.
Oh
But
shit! And what is like a crazy experience you ever had that you had to arrest somebody?
arrest. I remember I was in training. I think it was, I can't remember. I was 10 days in, or like 3 weeks in.
Mhm.
I can't remember, but I mean, that's probably, and it's crazy
They
because
probably got real like, oh shit, I'm a cop.
well,
Like,
yeah. I first started on the streets back in December of 2016. So
Oh,
that's when I
shit.
first hit the streets as a
Mhm.
training, in training,
Yeah.
and I remember, I get a call of someone brandishing a gun,
Oh
and
fuck.
so then I'm like, oh, But normally when you get there, they're gone.
Yeah.
So you get there and you're driving, and then all of a sudden it's like, you see this car pull up, and then the kids the person was young,
Mm-hmm.
so he's like, hey man, hey this person just flashed a gun at me, and I remember he and I'm like, where is he? Where is he? Right.
Mhm.
So me and my my officer who's training, he's like, where is he? Where is he? And then he goes, oh, he's over there. He's over there. Kid you not? He's half a block away, and I see him. The victim's pointing at him, and then I'm telling him, like, does he have a gun? He's like, yeah, he has a gun. So we get there, and we don't obviously like you don't get close to someone who has a gun. So you kind of park. I park far away, get off, get off my vehicle with my training officer, and kid you not, we see like the gun somewhere in this it was somewhere around here by his leg. Like I said, everything was like, it felt like it was slow motion. I think that's when it hit me. Like, damn, I'm a cop. I'm a police officer. It's like this is some of the things that I have to deal with. And I remember I gave him commands, and he was not listening. And in my head, I'm just like, oh my god, like, I'm just like, it's everything. Like I said, goes so slow in your head, and you're just thinking like, what do I do?
Yeah.
What's the best thing I should do? And luckily, like I said, like the guy ends up complying, and kid you not, we see the gun. But in my head, I'm just like, wow, like
they could have played out a different
story. It was just like I said, it's a scary. I guess for a lot of people, it's a scary situation. For me, it wasn't scary, but it was more like, damn, like
this for real.
Yeah, this is not a video game. This is not nothing. Like I could actually get hurt, and the other person could get hurt, and that's gonna kind of realize I'm like, damn, like okay, I signed up for this, but for someone to have an experience like that in the first 10 days, it's crazy. It's crazy. But like I said, it kind of happened to me, and now it's like, oh, you see a gun, like it's cool, right? Cool, because it's like you want to have guns off the streets. That was probably my first experience, though, the crazy experience.
Damn, I had a gun pointed at me, and when I was leaving Mallards one day, I was with Raul and another my friend Jesus, and we're going to another bar, and we see a dude hitting a girl, and it looks like he was choking her out on top of the head.
Yeah.
So then we pull over, and we're like, hey bro, what the fuck? And then he goes running and he goes, what up? And we're just like, yo, chill. And that girl got in the car and dips. Yeah. And then we ended up leaving too.
I think I remember you telling me that story too.
And then I was like, and then we're talking about it. We're like, that girl's probably gonna, he's probably gonna apologize to that girl.
Oh, I remember it happened in San Pablo, right?
Yeah. Even his homies that were with him, they even dipped. Because they saw me run, and they ran too. Yeah. His own friends started running with me, So, and then they asked me, like, yo, why'd you run? I'm like, yo, like, he put out a gun. And then he was like, oh, let's get the fuck out of here. Like, Albany PD don't play with that shit. And then they all just dipped.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, like, even then, I remember, like I said, were you guys, can't remember. Were you guys there when, what's it called? There was that homicide that happened like near my house.
Oh yeah.
Back in
I wasn't there.
Near my parents.
You were with Sergio. I heard about it.
Yeah. That was I was in college, and I remember I heard a commotion outside, and I look outside, and then I see like this dude just shoot this kid. Like I call him a kid because he definitely didn't look like he was like over 25. Young. He was young. Definitely probably my age or even younger. And I remember when he got hit, and you see like the flashes, but when you see the flashes, I assumed it was like a firework, because I've never seen that experience before, and I see the guy kind of just looking around, the shooter, and then he shoots somewhere on the other side, and someone else running, I can't remember, and the guy ends up taking off. And my first instinct, which is crazy, normally you would think a person would run, right?
Yeah.
But my first instinct was I approached the victim, the guy who got shot, and it's a vivid image, because I still remember like the image in my head, and I was 21, 22, I can't remember.
Yeah, because I remember you guys were I remember Sergio at the time told me too that he was in his car.
Yeah, and yeah.
And then he was like,
And-
"What the fuck?"
Yeah, Sergio was in his car too, and in my driveway.
Yeah.
And I went outside because I heard a commotion.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on, and I saw it happen. Like I said, maybe 50 feet away from me, 30 feet away from, probably 30, 50, I can't remember. I'd say 50, probably more 50 feet. And it was just like so surreal. And then first thing I do is like, I don't know any first aid. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know. And all I see the guy, like he's having trouble breathing and
Sheesh.
like blood's coming out of his mouth. And I remember I just take out my phone right away and I start calling 911. And I'm like, hey, someone's been shot. Like, and I'm providing the description of the suspect, but like I said, everything happened so fast, and all I remember it's like the guy had like a black hoodie and like blue jeans, and
Sheesh.
that was probably one of the craziest incidents I ever experienced, like living in Richmond. And I was just like, damn. And I know it changed me as a person because now it's like I said, that kind of motivated me to want to help out my community, because I was like, why people shouldn't be people should not be
Afraid to go outside. And
yeah,
shit.
be afraid to go outside. It's like I remember growing up as a kid in Richmond. It's like you your friends would get mugged, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Javier got mugged with like Sergio, right,
Mm-hmm.
back in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like six people came up to us, and crazy thing is I went to the bathroom. I was like, hey, I'll be right back, catch up to you guys. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. And I came out, 6 guys surrounded all 3 of them, Ivan, Sergio, and Javier, and then they robbed them. They got robbed.
Jeez.
And I remember in middle school too, my cousin Chucky,
Mm-hmm.
he got robbed. He got punched and he took his $5 away. Back in Jack in the Box by San Pablo, by Helms.
They checked Martin too because he was wearing. What were we wearing? A red hat.
Oh yeah.
You took Hershey's hat.
This was senior year.
Yeah.
I was wearing one of my friend's hats, like the the
Washington
one. I was just walking, and I used to love walking back then. And then like these three dudes pull up and like, oh, where you from? I'm like, oh shit, I'm from San Pablo, bro. Just like that, you know.
Yeah.
And then they just checked my pockets and everything, and then all they did was like take like $2 worth of like in 25 cents pretty much.
Yeah.
That's about it. But I was like, Jesus Christ, can't even walk like home and shit like that.
Yes, I mean, definitely the community, I would say, has gotten better. Richmond,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
way better. But back in the 2000s, I had no idea. Like I remember when we moved out to Richmond from San Francisco, I was like, oh, cool. I guess that we're little kids. We're so naive. We don't know what really happens. But as you're growing up, you realize it's like, oh damn, I live in a.
Not so good.
Well, you don't realize that. I didn't realize that until like I was in college. I remember when I was in college, my freshman year. They'd be like, "Oh, where are you from? Where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh, from Richmond." They're like, people were like, "Damn, you're from Richmond?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, and they're like, "Isn't it bad out there?" And I'm like, I don't see it.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. But then it's like as you're growing up, you realize I'm like, damn, we were exposed to a lot of like violence.
Or it was like top 10 cities in the U.S. where like people were like, getting like.
Yeah, I remember it's like
Like that freshman year at Richmond High, that was.
Yeah, that was scary. We would all hang out in the.
I was going to school in San
Yeah.
during that time.
We would all hang out in the little machines. We'd keep away from everyone else and play the video games. That's it. We were all staying in the video games, and we were. I remember I just stuck with my same group: Martin, Javi, Sergio, Ivan. We all just stuck together and like an extra like. We were basically the nerds.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's like it kind of helped us stay in a good path. A good path, and the relationships we still have it. But I remember freshman year of high school in Richmond High. Damn, it was rough.
Dude, so I, that's what's crazy because I went to school in San Rafael, but not that many people knew that I lived in Richmond.
Yeah.
So and then I remember the first time I was only like 9 or 10 years old when I saw some dude get shot outside my house too. Like in the corner. I was young.
Yeah.
And I would just like peek through the window because all I heard is an argument and bah. And then it sucks too because I clearly heard the dude that got shot say, "Help me. Somebody help me." But then, boom, dead.
Yeah.
Like those were literally his last words. Like, so it's like, fucking A. And then and I'm going to school over there. And like, I was like what? Like literally they know that, I just saw some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just.
Yeah, it's like that's the thing though. It's like you don't realize where we come from until you kind of step out of the city.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh damn. And like I said, it's like I said, growing up in Richmond is definitely rough. But I was telling my parents, I was telling Mom, Dad, you guys should once my youngest brother goes to college, you guys should move out.
Mm-hmm.
Find a nice, quieter neighborhood, especially because they'll be in their late 50s.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, just move close, move to a nicer neighborhood.
Yeah.
It just further safety. I guess I always think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Do you think that this community is what made you like become a cop?
a part of it, yeah. I mean, definitely was part of it. You definitely join it. I mean, at least for me, I joined it because I know we need more Latino officers
Mm-hmm.
out in that profession. And for me, I know I'm bilingual. I speak Spanish fluently. I could.
Have you stopped already somebody that was like Spanish?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also it helps. Like I said, it helps.
Yeah.
Once you go into a scene or an incident, and whether it's a victim or a suspect, and you speak to them in Spanish, and they're only Spanish speaking,
Mhm.
only speak Spanish, it helps a lot. And it helps a lot because you could help build that trust if it's a victim,
Mhm.
and kind of comfort them and let them know, like, hey, everything's okay.
Yeah.
Like we're here to help you. But but mainly, like I joined it because I know, like I said, I was exposed. Like I said, I'm sure you two were as well, like exposed to a lot of like, in Richmond,
Mhm.
exposed to a lot of things. And for me, it's like part of it. I was like, damn, I want to be a police officer. And so, and me being Latino and speaking Spanish, I'm like, I think I would help out the community.
Yeah.
I want to help out my community,
Mhm.
and that's kind of the reason why I did it. And I haven't looked back ever since. I mean, even though we have our ups and downs, and I'm still, like I said, I still go back to my community, help them out. Like I still go back to Richmond High.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because I remember you told me you bought In-N-Out for the police department, right? You and Brian?
me and Brian, we went
Yeah.
and bought In-N-Out for the entire, I guess what you call it, watch. The watch means like what shift, either it's morning, morning shift, what's the other term would be swing shift, which is usually the afternoon, and then midnight shift. But yeah, we bought In-N-Out for the swing shift. Me and Brian, he's like, Brian, hey, we should. He's like, hey, we should buy some food. I'm like, yeah, like we should do it. And so we went and bought In-N-Out for all the officers out in Richmond Police Department, and it was cool. It was it's cool doing that. But like I said, I still give back to my community, whether I work in another city.
Someone in our live asked, what's the best way to help the community, in your opinion?
Honestly, I'd say one of the best ways to help out the community is helping out the younger generation. That plays a huge role.
Yeah.
I've only spoken with one person about it. Well, I donated money to the. Well, I'll follow up with that question, but I donated money. Like I said, you could always donate money, but I know there's people that don't have the funds for it, which is fine. But honestly, the best way to help out is always starting out with the younger generation, the youth, because they are the ones who are the next leaders.
Yeah.
And for me, like I said, I always go back to Richmond High School and talk to the kids there who are interested in being a police officer, or even then interested in going to college.
Yeah.
I always tell kids, like, hey, pursue college.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's worth it. Don't be afraid to take out a couple of loans, because at the end of the day, like I said, you going to college, it helps you. I'd say become a better person, but also figure yourself out as a person. But like I said, I go to Richmond High School. Maybe I'd say at least every semester I go and talk to the kids about the law profession, or even then me being part of the law academy, going to college and what you need to do to go to college. I donated money for the Rich Mind podcast that Enrique has. Donated money for them for their scholarship. And like I said, it always has to start with the youth. I actually myself just had a conversation with one of my fraternity brothers. He lives in Oakland. His name is Manny. And so I was telling him, like, hey man, like, we should start a scholarship foundation for kids in Oakland and Richmond.
Yeah, that'll be dope.
And from there, so right now we're trying to figure out a name. He knows he wants to incorporate. He told me he wants to incorporate something that has to do with police officers, because he wants to know that a police officer is also helping out the community. And obviously, people say that they don't. People say that, you know, how are police officers helping out the community? But you'd be surprised. A lot of officers help out. I had a coworker of mine, and I won't say her name, but she donated one of her kidneys to someone. Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah. This was 3 years ago. This person needed a kidney, and she donated her kidney.
Oh fuck.
Which a lot of people, I'm sure, would not be able to do that.
Yeah, hell
I
no.
myself,
because you gotta match their blood type.
Exactly.
And then that's what's up. That's wild.
She donated her kidney, and I was shocked because, like I said, it's like you don't see that stuff on the news, but I'm telling you, a lot of police officers help out the younger generation, and that's what we want, because they're the future. Set the example, teach them right from wrong.
Yeah.
I know, like, if you have siblings, I know whether it's 10 minutes of your time, 5 minutes of your time, hang out with them, talk about college. Encourage them to go to college.
Best believe my little brother ain't gonna go through the same path I had to go through. Like, I think my dad's boss even opened up a college fund for him, and then my dad was like, I want to use that money. I was like, don't use that money. Leave the money alone. Like, let's keep putting money into that account, because you know, once he gets older, it's gonna become super useful.
Yeah, it is. And here's another thing. It's like, if you have siblings, you as a big brother, you guys could definitely start a little savings account for your sibling, younger sibling, and even then, it's like you could put $5 per paycheck, $10 per paycheck.
Yeah.
But let's say they're 6 years old, 5 years old, 10 years from now, 15 years from now.
Yeah, they're gonna have money.
That's gonna be worth a lot. That's gonna be a good amount of money, and then for them, it's like, if they want to go to college and finance is one of their problems, or one of the things that's stopping them. Hey, brother, sister, this is money I've saved for you to go to college. But I definitely say one way to help out is helping out the youth. I can't stress it enough.
So you know, obviously we were just talking about that. What happened in Chicago with that kid?
Yeah.
So this dude said the same thing. He's like, you know, if Chicago had more programs, because this kid was 13, you know, he's a young little kid.
Yeah.
And then it's, you know, he's like, there's so many questions about him. Like, one, why the fuck does he have a gun? Two, like, he's only 13 with the gun.
Yeah.
So then they're like, you know, if the community or the schools had something for them to do instead of for him looking for trouble, you know?
Yeah.
And that's hella true. And that's why, like, you have a good point. Like, if you wanted to help out in the community, obviously you want to start with in high school. Because I mean,
or
I remember
even younger than that, elementary, middle school. It's like, it's like, I can't stress it enough. Like, it's all in the youth. Like, I know if you, like, that's why I'm telling you, it's like me and my fraternity brother we were having talks this yesterday. We're like, hey dude, we should start a scholarship foundation where we could help out kids in Oakland and Richmond. And he comes from Oakland. He comes from East Oakland, so it's a rough neighborhood. I come from Richmond. We come from Richmond, so it's a rough neighborhood for it too. Yeah. And like I said, it's like, whether it's $500, whether it's $250, whether it's $1,000, that money, I remember when I first received my first scholarship, I was so excited because I was like, damn, like, I have money to, like, I could pay for stuff at college, like, for pay for books, pay for a laptop, and even then, it's like that money could go towards a laptop that they want to get. Because a lot of kids don't have laptops, and it would be nice for someone to have a laptop and be able to do their work at home, right?
Is that push on that they need sometimes to get started?
Yeah, but like I said, we could all be definitely, we could all definitely influence like the youth, and even then, it doesn't have to be like wanting to go to like college. The thing is, if someone has a passion, whether it's like music, like I said, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's like building things, computers, that's fine. It's like, but we should all be setting. I personally feel like a lot of the money should be going to like some of the money funding should be going, or at least the state of California should be funding more of like the public school system, because if we were to have, I guarantee you, if we were to have more. I remember in high school we had like band class, right?
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. But if we were to have something like that where kids actually could sign up for it and be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I want to take music. Maybe I want to take art. I guarantee you that would help them stay focused on what they want to be or do in the future. But like I said, that incident where you mentioned Chicago is a tragedy, definitely a tragedy.
Yeah.
And I'd say it's tragedy for both parties. Like I can't, if that were to happen to me, like I can't imagine. Like honestly, like I said, I don't know. Me as being the police, I don't know what I would do. Yeah. Because like I said, I help out a lot of the youth, and I have a brother that's 16 years old. I mean, near his age, and I know if that were to happen, like I'd be devastated. But you gotta help out the youth whatever way you can, and that's where I'm at. It's like I try and push it. I try and do as much as I can, but I mean, you can only do so much, right, as a person.
And it's so like, cause obviously, there's hella people that hate cops. So how would you get somebody to trust you, like?
Because someone has. Not a lot of people. Yeah. Not a lot of people trust police. What would be the best way to get people to trust the police?
Yeah.
Well, actions. I mean, the thing is, like it's like the thing I mentioned about my one of my coworkers. She donated a kidney. Where's the news media about that?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
They're not interested in that. Yeah. The thing is, there's really good stories about police officers that do really good things, but you have to Google that. You have to look for that stuff, and it's upsetting. But like I said, it's guarantee you a good amount of cops. I'd say 99% of them, 98% of them in the police department are there because we signed up because we want to help out people. Yeah. But unfortunately, they don't. A lot of the news media, they don't show that. They don't see that. Like I said, I do things like I mentioned. It's like how can you trust a cop? Well, the thing is, it goes both ways, right? I can't trust the person I just meet, and vice versa, right? Yeah. You have to build that trust. Yeah, and you have to build, and that's kind of how it happens, and for like at least for me, it's like some people, I remember people always like, oh, you're one of the good ones. They always tell me, or even then when like the whole protests were happening last year, I got a lot of messages saying, oh, Canchola, you're one of the good ones, and my head would be like, what do you mean one of the good ones? And then they would be like, I know you're not like the others, but the thing is, there's a lot of good cops. There are a lot of good cops that are here to help out people, but unfortunately, we get the good gets overshadowed by the bad incidents that occur.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But I help out. I do like my actions. Like I said, I donate money for scholarship. But I don't look for the glory. I don't look for the camera on me because that's not me.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the person I am.
Staying humble.
I like helping out people because if I can help someone out, whether it's me buying them coffee, whether it's me buying them a meal, whether it's me buying shoes for someone, that's what I do.
Yeah. Like I was really surprised that like when I wrecked my car. And when the cop came, I thought he was just gonna leave me there, like, all right, deuces. And he was gonna leave, but he was like, where do you live? And I was like, I told my address, and he was like, oh, like, I can take you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just wait right here. And he just took me, and we were just talking for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, like, wasn't not expecting that. I thought he was just going to leave me there, like, in the fucking middle.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in trouble with the law nothing crazy, you know,
Yeah.
just some dumb shit I did back then. But the officers were hella cool. We talked about and the watch and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was just a close combo, and it's, you know.
Yeah, it's like people have positive, like I said, we have positive, obviously, interactions, and we have negative interactions.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the positive interactions they're never shown.
They don't get recognition.
They don't get recognition, nothing like that. Like I said, I remember before I was a police officer, I had positive interactions and I had negative interactions.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I mean, me as a kid, when I was going to Merced, I was always speeding. I will say that. I got pulled over. You know, my parents always taught me, hey, if the cop tells you, give your license registration, that's it, right? You do the no sir, yes ma'am.
Yeah.
No sir, no ma'am. Yes sir, yes sir. You know,
Mm-hmm.
no sir. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I got pulled over, I was scared. And the reason I was scared because I had never been pulled over, so I
Yeah.
don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
I still remember it was a female officer, CHP, and I remember I was coming back. I was going actually to Merced for my chemistry final, and I was late because I woke up late. And so I'm speeding. I'm going. I remember I was going. I can't remember. Maybe 81 on a 55 or 50. Yeah, 81 or 79 on a 55.
Jesus.
And I remember, I get there. She pulls me over, and she's like, I could tell she was kind of mad, maybe because how fast I was going.
Oh, okay.
And so she's like, license, registration, and proof of insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, why are you rushing? You shouldn't be rushing. I'm like, and I just go, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm in a rush. I'm late for a test. And I said, I just got back. I went to go visit my mom on Mother's Day.
Uh-huh.
So I'm back, and I woke up late. So I
Yeah.
gave them her information. She comes back. She cites me. That's it. That was the end. That was the end of the interaction. And I was kind of bummed out. I was kind of mad, but at the end of the day, I made the mistake to speed,
Right.
so I have to pay for the consequences.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. I remember I got cited for that. I got cited in the same road, the same location, and this time I was going. I think it was like 8 or 9 miles per hour. I was kind of mad because it was like 8-9 miles per hour, but whatever. I mean, I did technically I was speeding, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember I got pulled over at a stop sign. I was running late for my graduation, and I did the California stop.
Oh, yeah.
Slow down and kind of
Yeah.
everyone does it.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone does it, and then I did it, and that officer caught me, and he didn't. I told him, I was like, sir, I'm late for my graduation. I'm really sorry. I thought he was gonna give me a break. Nope, got my ticket, but didn't argue it.
I got 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
If you know about a bad cop, what will you do? And the other one is, do officers get bullied into keeping their mouth shut if they see something corruptive/bad?
So the first question, sorry.
It was, if you know about a bad cop, what will you do?
If I know, or did they?
Yeah, like,
No,
if
if
you-
you knew
if you knew
about
about
it.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, if I knew, me as a police officer.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, every police department has its policies, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I know that at least for my department, we are encouraged, and specifically they protect a police officer when they see a bad, bad incident. If
Mm-hmm.
something goes bad,
Mm-hmm.
you have the option to report it to your superiors. Obviously, that's if someone like obviously messes up, then you could tell at least your sergeant, your supervisor. That would be your sergeant, and then technically you would have to make like a statement, and then that's kind of how it follows.
damn.
And then they do an investigation. But like I say, I think a lot of it, like I said, and then the second question, I mean, that's kind of how it is, but at least that's how my protocol is. But I know if I saw something bad, or I saw something like that was out of hand,
Mm-hmm.
or even then, like I felt that there was something in regards to racist or racial, I would definitely, at least for me, I would definitely report that, because like I said, if someone's being racist or any sort of like I said, just doing bad, then they should obviously, like I said, they shouldn't be a police officer. And then the next question is no. At least I mean, I don't know how other departments work because every department is different. Like I said, there's like I said, New York that has thousands of police officers, more than tens of thousands. And then there's like a small department that I'm trying to think, maybe like Petaluma or Novato. That's like it's a small city, right? So they maybe have like 50 police officers or maybe less. But normally it's like police officers don't bully each other. I mean, I've been working for 5 years now. I had 5 years on the 11th of this month, so we don't really I know, but we don't. There's no really bullying about it.
Like when there's a new cop, you guys don't call him a rookie, nothing like that.
No, it's not. No, we're not really like that. I mean, it's more like like every other job. You kind of just mess around and joke, but joke around. Like I've they what's it called? For me, they call me Scammy. That's one of my nicknames. But as a like they call me Scammy, but that's kind of it. I mean, sometimes you'll have like depending on your nickname, and you but it's nothing like crazy. But at least in my hand, I've never seen a police officer bully somebody else.
I think it was more like they said like bullied into keeping their mouth shut if they saw something bad or corrupt.
Oh, I guess my answer would be, at least for my department, no. You don't get bullied. And then here's another thing. It's like you have to also remember that there's body-worn cameras.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of police departments are implementing body-worn cameras, which I think it's a really good thing. I think it's phenomenal because if something does wrong, if an officer does something wrong, that camera's going to catch it.
Yeah.
Like if you felt that you were being targeted, if you felt like this police officer was unprofessional, and they have a body-worn camera, it's going to be in that body-worn camera. You can't delete that. You cannot delete the what occurs. It gets stored in like a big memory. I don't know where, but usually like administration looks into all that stuff, and if you file a complaint, it's like of that incident, then administration looks into the incident and whether you were unprofessional, whether this happens, whether, like I said, you were not mainly professional, right? Because professional, or you were just being like a huge a-hole, then the body work footage is going to show it, and then that's where the complaint gets added to the police officer or not. But I think body work cameras is a really good. It's phenomenal. It shows transparency on both ends. And police and the community itself could see what happens, and then obviously if like you get a wrongful complaint, then then the body work camera will also work for the police officer because it'll show that the person did nothing wrong. Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. That's.
Would it be easy to turn it off, or can they tell like if they would turn can they turn it off?
They could turn it off, but that's another thing. It's like if you're investigating something, you're supposed to have it on up until the end of the interaction.
Oh, okay.
So if someone, I mean, I guess you could say if someone turns it off at some point during the interaction, then obviously it raises questions because you're technically supposed to have it on to the end of the investigation. I know like there's only certain times where you're supposed to turn it off if you're discussing like tactics, or that's not supposed to, like, public's not supposed to know. And tactics, I mean like, hey, we should set up this way because it's a critical incident or something. Then that's when you kind of turn it off or mute it. But other than that, it's
their tactics are fucking crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, like Richmond, like how they would catch fucking dudes that would try to get prostitutes, that was like it'll be a van. You would think it's a van or something, but literally, there's just cops in there, and they're just trying to catch people who are like buying prostitutes and shit.
I don't know the tactics about Richmond, but I mean, there's definitely I've seen a lot of
A lot of shit like that.
I've seen a lot of people on 23rd.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I've never.
Dude. It's just wild.
Changing topic. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the first country you're going to right now? Now that everything's opening up,
First
Bad
country.
or
Am I planning like country that I want to go visit?
no, like what's the first concert?
Oh, concert.
Yeah.
Oh, concert. I thought you said country. Damn. I honestly don't have any upcoming. I mean, I guess the closest one for me that might occur would be Luke Combs, but
Luke
that's
Combs.
in October,
Uh,
so it's a long ways out. At least California's staying still very like conservative about that stuff.
right.
But I know they says like after June 15 everything's gonna open up. But I mean, who knows? But I'm not opposed to going to concerts because I love concerts. I mean, I'm also vaccinated, so
Oh, yeah, that's what's up.
that's. I mean, it's a good thing in my favor. It's like, you know, if we have to wear masks, that's fine. But I definitely feel more like I could do this. You know, go to a concert with a more amount of people around, you know, inside a building. But,
That's what's up. Yeah, I wanted to go to that Bad Bunny, but sheesh, bro. That's the fucking.
it's a lot of money.
Yeah. I was like, okay, like maybe things will go like 300 for 500 for like decent seats. Then you want more closer to 1,000 and up. I'm like, God.
Yeah, the 100 section was 1,500. I'm telling you, I ain't putting stuff on my credit card that, and I'm not putting stuff on my credit card and be in debt, and then and then you have interest on top of that. No,
Yeah.
no way. It's like I learned about
Yeah.
I learned about finance. And you definitely don't do that. You don't you don't overspend money.
Yeah.
Because then you get yourself in a hole where it's gonna I have to pay $300 a month. Like that's the thing. It's like some people buy something that that's not worth it.
Yeah. Because I remember too that when you started becoming a cop, you bought the M3, the Beamer.
Yep.
And that shit was nice.
Yeah.
I think you're the only guy in Richmond that had the M3.
Yeah.
And it was just parked chilling, and it always looked fucking nice.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, how much you? And I was like, you told me like the price a month, and I was like, fuck, that fucking worth me. Like, sheesh, bro.
Yeah,
That shit wasn't cheap.
It wasn't cheap.
And then you told me, and you're like, yeah, it's that much a month, and then plus if the maintenance is even like,
yeah,
like, I was like,
it was a nice car. I mean, but that's the thing. It's like I was smart enough to kind of realize that do I really need that type of car?
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I had it for a week, and what I can't remember what was the price. I think like after taxes and everything was like 65,000 or 68. I can't remember. And then I gave it down, and then I think the payments were coming out like $900, high 900, and plus insurance it was like $300. It's like $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
But it's like even though like that's the thing though, even though I was making good, when I started making good money,
Yeah.
it's like, do I really need this car?
Yeah,
Do I
dude.
really need it? And I was
Yeah.
like, and you know what's funny is I ended up returning. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think that's the smartest investment I should do, and so I ended up returning, getting a Lexus. I mean, I still got a Lexus, but it wasn't close to $70,000.
Yeah, it was chill.
But I mean, I guess through time I learned to kind of not buy things that I don't really need. I mean, I still buy. Take that wrong. I mean, I take that back. I still buy nice things, but I don't overspend.
Yeah.
I guess that's the
Right.
secret. Don't overspend because you'll get caught in you dig yourself in a hole,
Yeah.
and then you're out there like trying to get out of that hole, and that's the problem.
No, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Well, luckily for me, I was even paycheck to paycheck, but now, like, I just got a new job, so everybody at my new job is telling me like, yeah, you'll do good here, you'll do good here.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
And
fingers
honestly,
crossed.
it's like, I mean, if we're talking about finance, it's like you have to just be smart. At least, I mean, our parents. I mean, I'm a first generation. First generation that was born here in the U.S. And our parents. I mean, they come into this country, and all they want to do is have set themselves, pay their bills, give food, give us food at the, bring food to the table, and make sure their kids are having a better life than they are. That's their goal, right? That's the American dream for an immigrant. But unfortunately, like I said, a lot of our families are not they're not very smart with finance, or they don't have the knowledge to give or the tips to give you, the next generation, like us, to give us, hey, you should put money into the stock market. Hey, you should put money into like a savings account that provides you a high APR or APY. They don't. I had to learn all that at some point when I was, at some point in my job. I learned through all that stuff and learn that there are savings accounts that provide you a lot, that give you interest when you have their money sitting there. There's the stock market sometimes provide you better dividends than some of the saving accounts that are out there. And like I said, it's me as a first generation. It's like I wish I could have known all this stuff when I was in high school, back in middle school, teaching me that. That's another thing that we should probably at least would be really smart to teach about, is like
investing in stocks and shit.
Yeah, investing in stocks and teaching them about a lot of teaching them finance tips and how to like save money and things like that, because I'd say a lot of the community, or at least we never got taught that, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know about. I knew about stocks, but I didn't know too much about it. Yeah. Except the economics class we took.
Yeah, for real.
That's it. That's all they teach us.
Yeah, Mr. I. Yeah, dude. That's true.
And it's like I know I teach others. I know I'm teaching the younger generation. I mean, I have my 19-year-old brother that's has stocks already. He's 19 years old. Like, I had no idea about that when I was 19.
Yeah.
Like investing, and he's doing actually pretty good. I have my youngest brother that have money for him that I'm also investing for him. Helping him invest, and be like, as soon as he turns 18, I'm like, dude, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do, because I want to set them up for success. I don't want them to make the same mistakes as I did. Pull out loans.
Yeah.
To go party.
Party, damn.
But pull out loans. Pull out loans that have a high interest rate. You don't want that.
Yeah.
You don't want to pull out things like that. There's loans that are good and there's loans that are bad.
Yeah.
The loans that are good are probably the ones that have obviously the low interest rate, but at the same time, it's like they won't charge you when you pull them out. Like when you're in college, it's like until 6 months after you graduate, that's when they start charging you the money you owe. Versus there's other loans that you pull out, they're gonna start charging you as soon as you take them out. So it starts building up, and then you're like, before you know it, you graduate, you're like, oh, I owe this much. Psych. You owe this much. And that's how you get played.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, you're not smart with finance, and that's something where we should be teaching.
Yeah. For real, man. But so, you said you had 5 years as a cop, huh?
Yeah. 5 years.
That's, dude, when you said that, I was like, jeez, that time went by fast.
Yeah.
Out of those 5 years, bro, like, what, like, it's been an experience?
It's been an experience. I've definitely enjoyed it. I enjoy the interactions with people, even though I get a middle finger here and there. It's like...
Yeah, I remember, I think one time some dude was, like, giving you, like, trash.
Yeah.
Just because you were just parked somewhere.
Just parked. Yeah. I was enjoying my coffee. I'm not doing anything, and this guy's flipping me off, and I'm like, really? Come on, man. I'm just the day's starting. And it's like, but the thing, it's like you can't take things to heart. You have to remember that in this job. It's like it's like everything, people are always going to need help. Simple as that. But there's also going to be people that support you, and that's cool, right? I like when people support me, obviously. But then you're also going to have the people that don't support you. And you always have to remind yourself that the people that are bashing you, that throwing you the middle finger and calling you names, they don't know you as a person, right? They don't. And so you as a me as a police officer, you have to remind myself that don't take that to heart, because if I take that to heart, that's when it starts getting into my head, and my mental health wouldn't then becomes not so good, and that's definitely
because you have honestly, it's one of the toughest jobs out there, bro.
Right now?
Like yeah, like dude, like I was just telling, I forgot who was saying this with my, but so yesterday, dude, I have to, so I'm a plumber, so I fix water lines, main lines, and I always get like a little doubt in me, like fuck, am I doing this shit right? Am I doing this shit right? And then I fix it, and I'm like, please work, and I have to turn the water on, and I get that nervous feeling of like, oh fuck, am I fucking break on me or something?
Don't break on me.
Yeah, like, cause it happened to me once, like, dude, on my, I think it was on my first day ever, like, they were like, oh, you can go out on your own and fix something, and dude, it happened to me, like, I fix it, and I'm like, it's good, and my coworkers come, they check it out, you're like, yeah, you're good, just fill it up, you know, and then I'm patching it, and then my coworkers say, hey, dude, everything cool? I'm like, yeah, everything's cool, and then poof, fucking water, dude, everywhere. And that's what I mean, like, it's like with cops, I feel like you get that same type of anxiety sometimes too, like hoping that you just like, let's get through this day, let's just get through this day.
Yeah, sometimes it's like days where you're like, damn, you're like tired, and you're just like, I can't wait to be home. But then, you know, and then there's days that you're there, and like I said, I go on the job, and every day I try to do a good deed, whether it's buying a coffee. This homeless girl, she's my age. I actually got her some like pink Vans. I got her some pink Vans because she didn't have shoes, and I saw her wearing it for a good month, but after that I don't know what happened to them. But it's like I try and do a good deed, and these are things that I said, like, I don't look for recognition. I don't look for people saying like, oh, good job. No, I don't. Yeah. I do it because I like helping out people. Whether it's also buying food, you know, someone. I try and do a good deed as much as I can, or even then make someone's day, because like I said, sometimes someone might have that bad experience and with the police officer, and at least if that person should know that, hey, I had a bad experience with a police officer, but they should remind themselves that maybe it's just that specific police officer, not another person.
It's not the whole department.
It's not the whole department, and they have to remind themselves that the other side, we're not all the same. We all think differently. And like I said, it's like, I try and help out someone, whether it's like, it's a smile, have a good day. I always try and make someone's day, because it makes me happy. If I did a good deed at the end of the day, I go home and I can sleep well. I sleep well thinking like, oh, I did something good. But like I said, I don't look for recognition. I look for some of those things because I signed up to help out the community.
Did you ever see that video about those cops that pepper spray that sergeant the
army lieutenant?
Yeah, someone on Twitch asked what's your opinion on that, what happened in Virginia.
What happened in Virginia? I saw it. I definitely would say it's unprofessional. Like I said, it's I guess my only comment to that is slow things down. Slow things down. It's like, if you see someone like I said with the hands up, like obviously he was showing his hands, slow things down. You don't need to rush it. There's no need for rush. And that's me as a police officer, and when working for 5 years, it's like you have to remind yourself. It's like, hey, do I need to rush this, or do I not need to rush this, right? Unless someone's life is in danger, then rush. Obviously, you have to think quick. You have to improvise. You got to figure out a possible way. But if things are like, obviously, like I said, he was parked. He was at a gas station. Slow things down.
And they got mad at him only because he didn't want to pull over right away. And he's like, I just wanted to pull over somewhere much safer.
Much safer. Like I said, it could have been better for both either side. Like, obviously, if like I see like I said, if someone's like driving away, it's like, obviously it raises my my hair in the back of my neck, because I'm like, why is this person driving away from me when I'm trying to pull him over, right?
Mhm.
So you're like thinking, you
Yeah.
start thinking all these things like,
Yeah.
does this person have a gun? Does
Yeah.
he not have a gun?
Mhm.
Does something that he's he trying to get away
Yeah.
from me? So it raises so like
Yeah.
the first officer, I understand
Mhm.
what he's trying to do, but definitely like I could see that the first officer that was there, he was trying to calm things down. You could see that he was trying to like, hey, like trying to talk to him, like,
Yeah.
hey, like let's just cooperate, let's. But
Yeah.
then you had the other
Yeah.
officer that was just like,
Nope.
very
Yeah.
unprofessional. And
Yeah.
like I said, the biggest thing that should have happened there is slow things down.
Mhm.
And communication. That's probably the biggest key.
Yeah.
Biggest key, communication. I can't stress it enough. As in this profession, you need to know how to talk to people.
Mhm.
Like I said, sometimes you have to switch things up too. It's like if someone is not cooperating with you, figure out a way to cooperate with them. But like I said, it's not always going to work. But if you can and if you have time, why not, right?
Yeah. Have you ever had to chase somebody down with the cop car?
No, I mean chase as in like
high speed chase, like you're driving, the dude starts driving away from you, and you have to go chase his
no,
ass.
I've never had that. I've actually never chased anyone in a patrol car.
But on foot, yeah. No.
Once, just once, yeah, but it wasn't like too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, like I said, it's like, I will say it's tough because you have a lot of equipment, so you have extra 30 pounds, 25 pounds on top, so you're like
Yeah, 'cause
running.
you have the vest.
Yeah,
and the
you're
belt,
running, and
fuck.
but I mean, like from that incident again, slow things down, and if you're not in danger, and if no one's hurt, no one's slow things down. There's no reason to rush things,
Yeah.
and communicate, talk to people. If this person's asking you a question, why not ask them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Answer their question. But that's probably my opinion on that.
This is yeah, because it's like I said, bro. Your job, baby, is not the easiest. Like, you're gonna have people that respect you, and then you're gonna have people that just don't fucking they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they
know?
don't care at all, and that's fine. Like I said,
Mhm.
there's people that they're not gonna like you, and that's okay.
Mhm.
But like at the end of the day, it's like, I mean that's at the end of the day, it's like I said, these protests that have occurred and everything that happened last year. It's like I realized like who are my good friends.
Yeah.
I realized who I could really trust.
Yeah.
The people that will support me no matter what, like will have my back, or even then, like I said, that I got sent a couple messages, text messages, good, like nice little messages. Whether it's like, hey man, I hope you're doing good,
Mhm.
stay safe out there, or hey, I'm thinking of you.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
my-
because
you're
I
my
remember
thoughts.
when that whole protest was going on, I even texted you like, "Yo, be safe," because that shit looks crazy.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was
crazy, bro.
it was just so much emotion in those protests, and like I said, I understand, but the thing is like, I definitely realized who were my true friends and friends I could depend on and hang out with. And I don't know if you noticed, but when we hang out, I really talk about police stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't,
Yeah,
because
you
I
don't.
want to feel
more.
I'm
Yeah.
more of, I want to feel like a regular person.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah.
Like a regular person, and for me, it's like when I hang out, it's just, hey, I'm still the same person.
Yeah, you're just chilling.
I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling, right?
Yeah.
Santa Con is here.
Santa
Dude, that was wild.
Yeah, I
I
want to
follow
feel
you,
like I said it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still have my ragers.
Oh, sheesh.
I still rage. I'm still the same person.
Yeah.
Right? The job hasn't changed me, and
Mhm.
I plan, and I'm making sure and taking every step necessary so that the job doesn't change me.
Mhm.
Like I said, I want to feel like, I want to be the same person. I'm hoping my friends or the friends that I'm with, they still look at me the same way.
Mhm.
But definitely, like, it made me evaluate who I could truly trust as a friend,
Yeah.
who are my real friends, and the
Yeah.
people that were, even though we haven't talked in a long time, and a little message like that, it helps a lot.
Yeah. Mhm. And what are your opinions when they say like, oh, defund the police, defund the police? I honestly, if they do that, I feel like it's like, who's gonna, if something big happens, who the fuck is gonna like protect you? You know, like who do you, like, you obviously when some bad shit happens, you know, you're always like, where's the cop? Or when you see like some fucked up shit, like, where's the cops?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, people that I don't when I hear people like, oh, defund the police, I'm like, do you really want to do that, yo? Like,
yeah,
like I don't think that's a good idea, yo.
I will. I mean, I'll say this. It's like we definitely do need more funding for you know, a lot of these medical hospitals or psychiatric hospitals. We really do need that because, like I said, half of the people I talk to and I know them by names. It's like they have like a mental illness or something, but I understand that. And then some people sometimes even looks at me like, they look at me like, you're talking to that person? I'm like, yeah, I know this person. You know, I've known him for 3 years. But they find it weird that I talk to a homeless or someone that's like talking to themselves. But that's kind of like my job, you know. That's the thing. It's like I should not be judging anyone based on how they look, based on how they, react and anything. It's the same person I see in front. That's the same person I'm treat them with respect and utmost dignity. But I mean, from that, you know, from like what you just stated, it's like I said, we're always gonna be in need of police officers, first responders. We're always gonna be in need of them. It's like, but I know that we have to figure out a way to help out a lot of the people that have mental illnesses. Like I have a cousin that has a mental illness, and it's like I wish he could be getting the help he needs, and because like I said, there's sometimes incidents like occur because they don't get the help that they need. And I just wish, like I said, there was funding for everything, because a perfect world would be, you know, having the best public school system, having
healthcare,
healthcare, and even then it's like people who have PTSD or some sort of like mental illness or having something, right? It's like that if we lived in a perfect world, it's like we wouldn't, you know, a lot of what's it called? A lot of the funding would be everywhere, right? In all departments and everything. But unfortunately, it doesn't. But I mean, I like I said, I just agree that I would have to say we do need. There needs to be definitely be more funding in like the school system and in like a lot of like the mental hospitals to help out people, psychiatric hospitals.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Because I saw a documentary and they were just talking about like how there's not that much psychiatric people. Like people that want to go to therapy, like talk to someone. That there is not that many of those type of doctors. Yeah,
and then there's another thing. It's like it's expensive.
Yeah, hell expensive.
It's expensive. I mean,
it ain't cheap.
I mean, if you wanted to get a therapist, I mean, even then, it's like it could go from between $100 minimum to like even $250 a session for an hour. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if people have therapists, but I mean. It's sometimes you do need to talk to a professional, whether it's like having just a conversation, whether it's just to have a conversation or something. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that either. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean, sometimes it's good to start somewhere, whether it's like, hey, how's your day? All right, with the therapist, that's fine.
Yeah.
But when you need it, at least you have rapport with someone. And you could actually tell the person how you actually feel and if you need help. Like I know if I needed the help, I would seek it, and then evaluate myself as in like, hey, is the job affecting me? Is something else affecting me? And that's and maybe even then the therapist could help me out and be like, hey, I think this is affecting you. You should focus on this.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's another deep conversation, bro. We're gonna have to save that. But yeah, dude, thank you for coming out and having this session with us, bro. Means a lot.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad I could talk to you guys, and hopefully the people that are hearing out, you know, they got a little taste
insight,
of a little inside taste, like, you know, of just, you know, what I do or what I am about. And hopefully, like, I answer some of people's questions.
Future star in the making. Future band in the making.
Future band. I'll become a rock star before anything.
But yeah, man, thanks.
Yeah.
And this is probably be it for our session. So thank you for joining us.
Someone said last question, sing for us.
Oh, wow.
Sing for us. Damn, I don't have a guitar though.
Bro, we should have one here. Though.
Yeah, we should.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, this is the second time somebody, because we had Daniel on the last pod.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he was asking for a guitar too, and I was like, I don't know.
I have an extra one. I'll probably bring it for next time. But
yeah, next time.
Thank you, Canchola.
Who said sing for us?
Hippo.
What's up, Hippo?
All right.
All the
Deuces.
small things.
Dude, that song,